Welcome back, folks, to the round 5 of the PSGL PSF4 race around Monaco. You've not missed much. My apologies. We've got some connection problems for the host tonight. We'll be hoping to try and stay with you live all the way through. Robbie still leads this one by now 5.6 seconds into lap 4, and Matteo has yet to be able to get past Kilcree here for the 3rd place on the circuit. Doing our best to get everything back for you, and I hope you found your way back to us. We've got Lewis and Simon swapping places. Snipes has retired, as has Medsport, and the retirements have started already. It's obviously going to be a race of attrition for our drivers. It's tremendously difficult threading your way around this this incredibly historic circuit, but it is very, very difficult to race reliably. Lickle has, I believe, pitted very recently and is down into 18th position. We've got Lewis just getting by Teddo, I think that was, in the background. We'll focus on that battle for the podium as things stand, though. Robbie, 6.3 seconds to the good. He's got more seconds in front than there have been laps so far, and on the medium tyres that's only going to be good, as now Twist and Kilcree on the hard tyres are starting to enjoy their tyres finally, I think, although the hard tyres are going to be a struggle around here. They're obviously trying to go for a one-stop, assuming we won't get a safety car around here. But it's going to be a very, very difficult evening's racing. This is going to seem like a tremendously long stretch, although of course would not the slightest moment to rest, especially if you've got a driver trying to make an overtake. The top three, the second, third and fourth drivers separated by just about a second in total here into lap 6. You see the mountains in the background, a gloriously sunny day in Monaco for the drivers. No weather patterns to worry about at this stage. And then you can see Matteo getting incredibly close. It's so tempting to launch one into the hairpin, but it's at a very low percentage move. The deal here is just save and harvest everything you've got while you are stuck behind another driver in the hopes you can use it later. Lewis has a 3-second time penalty, but look at that, so does Robbie at the top of the standings. He's got a 3-second penalty, LRB and Edrex as well. So Robbie needs to now do an even bigger job here to try and stay ahead of this group come the final standings. Fleddy with a penalty as things stand. I think I won't bother to read out every single penalty because I think that's going to be very time-consuming and boring for everybody. We'll take into account penalties at a later point unless something changes dramatically here in the top 4 or 5 drivers. So your order after 7 laps, Robbie and Twist, but 8 seconds between them. Next, very quickly comes Kilcree and Matteo. Little gap then to Jeroen with Smalley Balls, Samba, both directly behind him. In 8th place, LRB, Simon and Edrex into 10th. And then we've got Belbelvi, Fleddy, Diogo, as Teddo has retired from the session in the swimming pool section, actually, which is not super convenient for our drivers. Let's have a look from the perspective of Lickle as he comes into that section now. You can see the stop car. He had to drive straight through him. The car has stopped on the racetrack. This could be a problem for us further in and deeper into our session. We could end up with a safety car being called. For now, waved yellows are the order of the day. Samba picks up another penalty. There's that car stranded. The marshals can't crane that one out just yet with the cars running at full speed. Matteo all over the back of the Red Bull at the moment here. The Ferrari driver. It's only lap 8 so far. Lots to play for. Lots of running to get done, though, before the checkered flag is run. Up the hill then we go, the Beau Rivage, before looking for the breaking point of Massenet. Just a couple of downshifts, a little tiny touch on the brakes, really let the engine and gearbox do the work. But Smalley Ball's out as well. Smalley Ball's out of the session. Where is that car? He is on the exit of Casino. So that's also going to cause a problem. A 2-sector yellow flag because it covers 2 sectors there, so that car could be a problem for us later. This section of the track for the podium fighters is clear of yellow flags at this point. Round we go then. As I say, I'm a newcomer to this particular season of racing rules here. I did do a couple of seasons ago for PSGL, but unfortunately my schedule has clashed ever since. But so let me know if we are expecting the safety car or if I'm wrong on that count. But hopefully we will avoid it at the moment. Smalley Balls then has dropped into last place as Lickle has managed to overtake him. So that is 4 drivers out after 9 laps of racing. That's Smalley Balls, Tedo, Snipes and Medsport in reverse chronological order. Robbie leads this race by 9.7 seconds on the road, but with a 3-second penalty on the car. This battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th between Twist, Kilcree and Matteo. Jeroen can see them on the rare occasions we have a straight on the circuit, but he is some 2 seconds behind them at this stage. Edrex in 9th place, closing up behind Simon. Simon on the medium tyres that I imagine are starting to fade now, the mediums. So the hard tyres, this could be the tipping point where the hard tyres start to be in a better place than the mediums, away from the start into their 9th lap. The leader has started his 10th as Kilcree crosses the line then. Little look then, before all the pit stops come, we can see some big changes in the midfield. 5 places up for LRB, 6 each for Belby and Diogo, and 7 up for Amoy, who was on the back row of the grid. 7 down for Lewis, 4 down for Keke, and very few by way of changes at the front of the order, as you would expect at this high level. So we'll be expecting Robbie in, and Matteo, LRB and Simon at about just before the halfway point of the race, I imagine, although tyre wear won't be a huge problem here around Monaco. Looks like Twist getting away from Kilcree here, who is still under a huge amount of pressure from Matteo. Big oversteer moment coming out of the Nouvelle chicane, and there is a pass for position. A little rub on the wall from on the exit of Tabac for the Ferrari of Matteo there. But he managed to consolidate that move and get it done. So Matteo up to 3rd now, and will be able to start getting towards the back of Twist. So there was a pass for position. I hope you all enjoyed it. We may not get many more competitive passes in the race, but it is still an intriguing blink and you miss it kind of a race. Hypnotic to watch these drivers pound round the Principality. Still 0.5 of a second though between 3rd place Matteo and Kilcree. Kilcree be kicking himself there for that little mistake out of the Nouvelle chicane. He tried his best to block the track, but Matteo was very quick reflexes to get around him. Better grip on the way out the corner, but put the pressure on and made it happen. I'm sure he'll claim at least some part of that mistake, as chances are it wouldn't have happened had he not been so close behind Kilcree at that stage. Lap 11 becomes lap 12 for the leader Robbie. He's 11 seconds in the lead of this one, on the road at least, as the penalties continue to stack up for our drivers. Got Lickle right at the back at the moment, unfortunately. He's in 16th place, but it may well be he's going to get points here tonight. He just needs to hang on. Samba getting close here to the back of Jeroen. Let me know if you're here from Elite Racing Team or from any of the other teams represented. Team Shazoo, Neverlast Racing, the Trust team. I doubt you're still here if you're a Quest Racing Team supporter, because Snipes is out, unfortunately. Make sure to leave a like on the video today and a comment if you would as well. And I'm sure you're already subscribed to the channel here and to @PremierSimGL on Twitter, my Twitter, @WebORed5. Super tight then between Jeroen 5th and Samba in 6th, Matteo 3rd and Kilcree in 4th. I'm not sure which of the pairings will see the first action here. Got a little bit of action developing as well. A three-way battle for 11th at the moment, led by Diogo. Then comes Amwoy in the middle with Fleddy making a move there. It was Amwoy getting very, very squirrely on the way through Raskas. Fleddy just couldn't find a way past him as they passed Simon in the pits. Gets very close here, getting a good drive. It looks like Amwoy's tyres have had it, but can Fleddy do anything about it? Fleddy's going to run into him in a minute. He goes to the shape to the inside into Massenet. That is not the most conventional of attempts there. Let's see, Fleddy, will he have a look perhaps into the hairpin? No, he's happy to be circumspect at this point. There's another penalty on the board for Samba as well. We're right on board with Fleddy, see if he can get the exit he's looking for on the way out of Portier and through the tunnel. He's got a great slipstream here. There really is only room for one to go round the corner as the Williams tries to close the door. I think if Fleddy had got the inside, he probably would have had him there, but it wasn't to be. Matteo has pitted, stuck up there in 3rd place, so that releases Kilcree. Matteo off the medium tyres has now pitted and is coming through. He's done with his mediums. He's had the change, and now we're waiting to see where he feeds back out again. It's going to be a little bit late. And down in the order, he's coming out in P10. Will he stay ahead of P11? He crosses, well, he touches the line at least on the way out of the pits, and he's come out in front of Fleddy, and successfully there Matteo with a little bit of clear air, but not a lot of clear air in front of him. Matteo to the Mercedes of Diogo in front of him. As we look to see where the next move is coming. Is that Simon and no, it's Amwoy in the pits. So Amwoy has exited that little battle he was in the middle of and is in the pits right now. Samba yet to pit, but piling up the penalties. Let's have a quick spy at the penalty situation. 6 seconds on the board after 14 laps for Samba. And into the pits goes Jeroen just in front of him. So Samba, let's see, I think he is on the hard tyres, is he not? If I've remembered correctly, Samba is on the hard tyres, as is Kilcree and Twist in front of him. Robbie still yet to pit. He's looking for a good gap behind him to pit. He doesn't want to leave it too long, but he can't. He's got the option here of waiting, because for the medium to hard strategy, the undercut is very difficult because the hard tyres take so long to warm up. So he's got a couple of laps here to play with if he so desires. He'll be looking at that track map. He'll be asking where the pit stop will feed him out, but at the moment Robbie 12.7 seconds ahead of Twist. Let's have a look at gap to leader. Where will that leave Robbie? Could be into P6 potentially, maybe P5. He might make it out into P5 after his pit stop, but we'll see if he decides to pit very shortly. It looks like not this lap for him. Let's go back in the order then and look at Matteo, who is stuck behind Belby here. Matteo with the McLarens just squeezing him to the outside. An approach around the outside. That's a fantastic move from Matteo. Yes, he's got a big tyre advantage, but it was still took a huge amount of courage around the outside. He put a lot of trust in the guy on the inside there to not make a mistake. Samba pits, and there is Matteo then attacking the racetrack. He's going full throttle through the corners to try and warm up those hard tyres. Bounced over the swimming pool section, but he's managed to keep it on the road. He's been hoping that he gets out in front of this tricolor rear-winged car of Samba, but it's not to be, and Samba is going to be on better tyres in a few corners time once they're warmed up. Matteo doesn't want to be stuck behind Samba. Samba has managed to get the overcut work here, and Samba will be holding up the Ferrari. He's going to shape to the inside just to discourage a move, Matteo's going to have to be incredibly careful. Almost touched that front wing on the diffuse, and we see how easily they break. And we saw that in qualifying. So on the way out of Portier, what can Matteo do? He hasn't got the traction on the hard tyres to draw anywhere near as close as he needs to, despite the fact the car in front is derating. Robbie pits then from the lead, which launches Twist into the lead of the race. So Robbie into the pits then on lap 17 of 39. Where will he come out? I was predicting around P5, P6. And let's see if he can make it out into some clear air, or if he might get a little bit stymied here. So Samba making that one work brilliantly. Robbie is already back out again. He's made it out into P3 thanks to other drivers pitting at the same time as him. That has really helped him out. So P3 for Robbie. He is 11, now 12 seconds behind Kilcree, and struggling on those hard tyres. It is really hard to come out on the cold hard tyres, but he's wrestling that car under control, just about hanging on. There's a retirement from Amoy. He's in the pits, is he? Yes, I believe he's in the pits, so thankfully that won't trigger any caution period for us. It's getting very, very busy in the midfield here. We've got a battle between Matteo and Samba for 5th place. Behind them, we've got a battle for 7th between Jeroen and being led by LRB. We've got Kilcree in the pits as well. How will his pit stop strategy work against Robbie? He has gone hard to medium. He's got on the mediums as early as he possibly can. Doesn't want to be on those hards any longer than he needs to be. Robbie has got past him though, and this will be interesting to see how much Samba has held up Matteo, or Kilcree has mistimed this pit stop. Where does Kilcree come out? He's in front of this pair, so that has worked out beautifully for Kilcree. He holds on to his net position there with just Twist yet to pit. Look at the gap to leader then for Twist. That I've already got it up. That is Kilcree then will be racing here now to try and defend against the overcut of Twist, who is staying out. But I do think that those on fresh mediums are going to struggle at the end of this race for grip relative to the drivers around them. So let's look out for that. The ones on the oldest mediums at the end of our race. The order as it stands, yet to pit at the top of the order is Twist. Robbie significantly ahead, and also yet to pit Edrex in 3rd. They will drop back in the order, of course, very shortly. Fastest lap currently lies with Robbie, a 1:12.004. And we'll go back to our interval so that we can keep an eye on those tight gaps. This is a continued struggle for the net podium here. Kilcree, Samba and Matteo will be trying to get past Twist. Twist will be dropping back here, but he's trying to buy himself some good medium tyres for the end of this race and hope that these three hold each other up. I don't think that's quite happening yet. We shall watch and wait for that though. Jeroen so close behind LRB here. Is he tempted into Massenet? Not quite. Fleddy, is that Fleddy just getting past the driver in the pits? It is. Don't get too excited, Webbo. And Jeroen then through Portier. How is his slipstream looking? Not great coming out of the corner, not great at all. There is the pit stop from Twist, so that is what we're looking for. Where will he come out? In front of this group, behind this group, and on better tyres? Let's see, through the swimming pool we go. Twist a significant chunk ahead here in the pits at the moment, but the pit lane is obviously very, very slow because it's so tight. So where is he at the moment? Twist coming out. He's in Sandervot right now. I think he's ahead of all of them. I'm pretty sure he is. He's even ahead of his trust teammate Edrex. So whether Edrex was playing a bit of a team game there and holding them up, that could be controversial given that they're driving for different constructors. But all the same, Twist ahead of the group battle for the podium. It looks like Edrex is holding them up a little bit, whether by design or accident. We shall see. But Kilcree now has a decent gap to make up, to get back into the battle with Twist. Here he is then, Kilcree looking for that inside line. This is a battle for position. He's got great stopping power. Drive to the apex of the second part of the Nouvelle chicane and leaves it up to Edrex to make his own arrangements at the corner. Edrex was pretty wise there, didn't push the issue too far, and now Kilcree is back on the hunt. He's on 2 lap older tyres than Twist. That could be pivotal later on in our session, but Robbie back on top. He leads this race by 9.6 seconds. Samba, the next one. No, Edrex has got in the pits. He is now in the pits and has got out of the way of this group. So he only really held up Kilcree for about 2 sectors. But they might have been critical sectors. Difficult to say at this stage. Lap 21 with the majority of the pit stops. Well, all the first pit stops have been actioned. That leaves Robbie in the lead from Twist. So an Aston Martin front row started this race. They've switched the order, but it's still an Aston Martin top 2 with Twist in second. Kilcree in third with Samba and Matteo 4th and 5th. A little bit back, 4 seconds behind them, LRB and Jeroen with another gap then to Lewis in 8th, Simon in 9th and Edrex in 10th position. The 2 Mercedes 10th and 11th currently. And there is Samba. Not able to get super close to the back of Kilcree. Matteo tried to hang on as well. There you get a great view of both the swimming pool and one of the portside locations there, the swimming pool section of the racetrack from the helicopter. Very nice indeed. Nice to get a new camera angle. Matteo in 5th place, still getting that DRS down the start-finish section. Samba, another penalty on the board for Samba. They really are racking up, and that'll be just hopping across the chicane. It's very hard to pick up a penalty on the outside of the circuit, of course, because it's lined with Armco barriers. Let's have a look then while the gaps have opened up in the top of the order. Keep an eye on those gaps, of course, but here is a battle for 11th place. Diogo leads this one in the Mercedes from Fleddy in 12th and Keke in 13th. Keke in the Williams, if I've got that right. Yes, in the Williams, has got the medium tyres on. He'll be in a impatient mood to get in front of this group, who are going to be blocking him and slowing him down. So it could be a powder keg about to erupt here. Nearly 10 seconds is Robbie's gap at the top of the standings. He's dialing it back a little bit on the hard tyres. Hasn't quite got the same pace, or isn't trying to spend the same pace at this stage. Reserving ERS or tyres or fuel for the end of the race, just in case. The art of Grand Prix racing is winning at the slowest possible speed, as they say, especially and never more so around the streets of Monaco. Through we go to back. Derating on the back of Fleddy's car. Keke getting patient. He'll be channeling his namesake's ability to muscle a car around the tight confines of Monaco. Will Keke, driver racing for the Neverlast Racing team here. Across Saint-Devote. Oh, he almost had a great exit, but unfortunately just stamped on that throttle a tiny bit early. Whether that was a little bit of dirty air on the front wing he was suffering, understeer on the exit, or just a misjudgment, very hard to tell from this trackside view. Looking for an opportunity now, looking to pile the pressure on. You've got Edrex right on the back of Simon. The Trust versus Team Shazoo battle. Let's see Keke here. He might get the benefit of a double toe down towards the Nouvelle chicane. It will take a brave move though. Or stupid. it's up to you. What do you think? Would it be brave or stupid in that regard? But Edrex in 10th place, catching Simon. Very well indeed. Oh, and Simon out of shape through Rascasse. We've seen that so often from our drivers tonight. Coming out of Rascasse, we're looking for heroics into Saint-Devote. Not quite here for Edrex. He's on the medium tyres. He's going to have good grip out of Saint-Devote and up the hill. But there's just not a lot you can do about it. Just try and force the issue on the Haas in front really very few opportunities for an overtake unless the driver in front makes that critical mistake. Edrex 3.5 tenths behind Simon then, and around the hairpin we go for the 24th time, although the leader has just started his 25th lap. He is in definite risk here of lapping some of the drivers around a tight and twisty confines of Monaco, which is no mean feat. Lickle has retired from the session in the pits. Unfortunately, that will be our host retiring, so if something happens and he decides to leave or is forced to leave, that could affect me once again as the spectator. Naturally, the game, I think, seems to favour the drivers over the spectator, which you can understand for the quality of their race finish, but it's almost always is it the spectator who is kicked from a dodgy host connection. Oh, an attempt then of the Mercedes, and unfortunately all he managed to receive from that attempt was in bailing out of the move, getting a 3-second penalty across the front. That's going to open up that gap now, unfortunately for him. And actually this is now Fleddy coming on the back of Keke. So Fleddy has caught this group, and every lap that Keke waits behind this Williams in front, this Mercedes in front, is a lap that he will, a lap of tyre performance profit he will no longer have later on. Let's see what's Edrex doing then with Simon. Will he have another go soon? I wonder if that penalty has dissuaded him from a 50-50 move or not. He's super close, going into the 2 to back, and he clatters the wall. There is such a thing as being too close to the car in front. You either get unsighted or you have very little warning when it comes to what through a stalled front wing. There goes Medsport. He stayed to watch for a fair old while, and there's Edrex out of shape coming out of Anthony Noakes. Not for the first time tonight we've seen drivers super close to the guys behind. But there goes Gridiron Yuki, who says that the penalties might help drivers like Twist, Matteo and Simon. Absolutely, although Twist, I think, will need Robbie to get a whole host more penalties than this to make the difference. Let's keep an eye on those penalties though, because Samba is going to slip behind Matteo for sure at this stage. We've got very little by way of other change. I think Edrex is going to drop behind Diogo unless he can get past Simon and move on up the road ahead. Jeroen picks up another penalty there. That's his second 3-second penalty. Across the Nouvelle chicane we go. Relying on the driver in front to make a mistake, but it's not happening this time from Simon, Team Shizou driver. A nice hop over. Just a warning there about the migrating host deal. If we lose the stream, I will get it back up as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, I may well get myself kicked as a result. Yuki says, watching this channel for a while. So yeah, indeed. Well, good to hear from you, Yuki. Always nice to hear from drivers and fans watching. Who's your favourite here at the moment, Yuki? What can Edrex do? Down into Massenet. There's no way through. Looks like Diogo has just dropped behind Keke. Unfortunately, we've missed that one, but Keke released from that battle. He's been fighting for some time. Keke's managed to get Diogo out in front. Robbie is dialing the pace back a little bit, unless he's made a significant mistake. That gap down to 7 seconds now. He needs to be careful because he's only got a 3-second. He's got a 3-second penalty on his on the board, so he's only got 3.7 seconds of a true gap at the end of the standings. Diogo a little bit slow away from the corner from Portier. Means Keke gets away and Fleddy comes even closer now at the back here. LRB is closing on the back of Matteo. Samba stays on the back of Kilcree. But no overtakes on that lap for us. And Yuki says he wants to say that Robbie has the win, but because it's Monaco, there's 11 laps to go, plus the one they're on right now. There is a 3-second penalty, equalising the whole of the top three. So that's made it nice and neat and tidy for us as spectators. But for Twist, that is gut-wrenching to see that. He'll hope Robbie has picked up further warnings in the subsequent laps since his penalty award. Now we've got Edrex, P9, super close here behind Simon. Let's just check out the tyre difference, shall we? Yeah, much faster tyres here for Edrex. It's a bit slower through the tunnel, unfortunately for him. So piling the pressure on Simon, hoping that he caves and makes a mistake. Any movement now from Fleddy down into the Nouvelle chicane? Not this time. I'll try and keep my eye on these several different battles going on, and on the same circuit, of course. Perhaps coming down into the Nouvelle chicane is the most likely place for an overtake. So bear with me as I flick back through the order. Once we've seen them go into the Nouvelle chicane, they have lapped the car of Belbelby. They're in 14th position. Too far back for those two to make a go of it. What about LRB on Matteo, who is derating? That's why he's been a bit slow lately. He spent all his ERS, and in fact, very, very wide, but LRB just couldn't get quite close enough. That was mighty, mighty tight there. Edrex, the next one to perhaps have a look into the Nouvelle chicane on the back of Simon now for P8. Oh, it's a long way back, unfortunately for him. Looks like Simon able to use some ERS, and something has happened with Robbie. He has lost a huge amount of time, and Twist is right with him now. What on earth has been going on with Robbie? Must have been an almighty kind of mistake. So we now have a battle on our hands for the first position, and Robbie's gone. Robbie is out of the session, so that's what happened to Robbie. He's got a disconnection. His car is completely gone from the session, and that is Robbie potentially out of this one. Let's keep an eye on those gaps in case something dramatic happens. But crazy stuff to just see the car disappear on us like that. There is another penalty on the board for Lewis this time. As Yuki says, heartbreaking for Robbie. He had it all the way through. Twist did beat him to pole, but Robbie took that first place straight away into Saint-Avold, and unfortunately it hasn't worked out. So there is Twist. Robbie still reading as in this race. His ghost is still there. Have we just got a timing glitch? We may well have. It looks like Robbie trying to get his way back into this one. His car is ghosted. He is on track in front of Twist as the gap stays around that 9.3 seconds. So do we just get a little bit of time lag going on between the two drivers? We will wait and see if Robbie can come back into the car, but that is a big deal. I don't want to miss any on-track action though, as that car is teleported up the road. Let's see, is Robbie still in this race? We shall see further on. This is the battle for fifth. Matteo leading LRB, leading Jeroen here. Matteo, no penalties on the car. That's not going to help him to the... Well, it is going to help him to Samba in front. He's got 12 seconds of penalties. If he can just stay ahead of LRB and Jeroen to the end of the race. We're into the final third of this Monaco Grand Prix. Hope you're enjoying it with us. Matteo, 5th place. LRB 6th. Jeroen in 7th. Some 23 seconds up the road from Simon and Edrex, who are coming through the tunnel right now. It looks like Little Blocks was fully kicked from the session, leaving a note in the driver chat there. Try and keep that monitored for you. But Robbie, the gap dropping back down again now to under 6 seconds. So Robbie asking for an invite, but I don't want to cut away from the on-track action, unfortunately, and I've not got him as a friend. Unfortunately, it's not available to me. If you are watching from one of our retired drivers, please invite OP_ROBI to the session, as his lead is diminishing very, very quickly. I will have one go maybe, because it's really not fair on him. Let's see. I hope we don't lose anything as a result. So please bear with me. No, there's no way to invite, unfortunately, because of the host migration, I believe. So if Robbie is watching the stream, unfortunately, yeah, I can't invite. I've had a try against my better judgment. There have been times when I've done that and been stuck on a menu screen. Here is Edrex right behind Simon. Unfortunately, we'll have to chalk that one up to a mechanical failure, a DNF for Little Blocks and potentially Robbie, as Twist is coming up to try and get him. Looks like he has received an invite, which is incredibly kind there from Lewis, I believe. And this is Edrex right on the back of the Haas, looking for a way through. Can he get the job done? But the narrow line on the way into Massenet means it's just too difficult. Edrex may have been better off staying nailed to the back of the car in front before the casino hairpin, but he'll try again. I'm sure he's got to get a good exit of the next two corners, try and stay with the Haas in front. Here is Edrex. It's a hiding to nothing really, with a 9-second gap here. Let's go back up to the front after this battle has finished, and we'll wait to see if Robbie can get back in the car, because Twist has caught him. No way through again there for Edrex, unfortunately. Let's see, has yeah, the car still ghosted in the lead of the race. This could pop into solid colour very quickly, but Twist takes the lead then on lap 34 of 39. So there we go. The lead taken, we believe, on track there, as far as we can tell at least. It's been the car did disappear earlier on. Here is LRB, and he's half a second behind Matteo. Any route down into the Nouvelle chicane for him. Another penalty for Samba. That's 15 seconds of penalties for the Elite Racing Team driver. And Lewis is retired. There you see on track, that is the Ferrari that was in 13th. Lewis is retired. That is a full yellow flag in Sector 3, right, blocking the racetrack. Dramatic end to his race, unfortunately. So will we see any form of safety car deployed for that one? Looks like it's not, unfortunately. Robbie, yeah, our hearts go out to you. That was a shocking one for you, and you're right, exactly. I can't invite you in. I have tried, and unfortunately, because the host was migrated, that is your race done and dusted. I'm sorry to say, you were dominating there. A very, very impressive display tonight, Robbie, and I hope you can at least take solace from that. On merit, this was clearly your win to take, with a few laps to go. We only have 4 plus the one they're on at the moment. Yuki calling it for Matteo. Well, he'll certainly get Samba, but he's some distance then away from Kilcree. Unfortunately, the top 3 are in position. It is Twist, Robbie's Ghost from Kilcree, and Samba. I think you have to be a solid car. You have to be connected to the car in order to pick up the race finish positions. So even if Kilcree doesn't catch Robbie, or Samba doesn't catch Robbie, I still think he won't get points for this race. This is the battle for 5th place. Matteo holds it, and the car behind, who is monstering the gearbox, is currently wearing a penalty of 3 seconds anyway. Here is Edrex, another driver with a huge amount of penalties, just desperate to get past the Haas driver, who might do well just to let him through, in all honesty. Simon would probably have a faster race distance time and faster trip to the checkered flag by letting Edrex past and be able to stay behind. Let's see, as Edrex 0.3 of a second only behind Simon as they barrel through the next corner. Into Mirabeau we go. We're not tempted to have a look on this corner. We've got a good line through the hairpin. Through we go. Portier. I don't know what the AI setting is in PSF4. If Robbie's AI is strong enough, maybe he will. His car will get the podium. I don't know that he'll pick up points for it. In truth, I don't know the rules inside and out to that degree. I would imagine not, though. It's difficult to say. Otherwise, it would mean that drivers just hit AI as soon as they had a decent gap towards the end of a race. So, yeah, Yuki saying Samba might be down in 8th place by the end of this one. They start lap 37 down here in the battle for 8th position. It looks like we were going to have ourselves a new winner. Let me see. Yes, it has been Robbie and Kian who have won so far. Twist has only managed a single 2nd place, so this could be his first win. And it's perhaps the only consolation Robbie can take here, other than the fact that he was the fastest driver, was that his teammate is the one that will get that win. All things being equal. Here we have LRB on the back of Matteo. Still can't get through. Neither can Edrex on Simon. 13 drivers remain in this race. It looks like we will be able to finish with all point scorers with 2 to go. It's so close here between Edrex and Simon. Almost pushing, in fact, actually pushing the car in front. Either that or he kicked up the back tyre on the barrier through Raskas. So getting too close, Edrex, that time through. Where is LRB at the moment? Coming under the overpass there before the tunnel. Any way through. You can see the car derating in front of him. Maybe he hasn't got the pace, as Yuki calls. Kilcree getting close to 2nd place now. Absolutely. And we go into Tabac. There's no way through there. And a bit further back then, this 3-way battle resumes for P8. This is Edrex. He's got Keke right behind him. No. Will anybody have a go? It's so close. The final lap has begun for our leader, Twist. And Kilcree is only 1.4 seconds off a genuine pass for position on the ghost of Robbie. Robbie has had it confirmed that he will not get points for his AI car crossing the line. I'm sorry to say. It would seem fair in this instance, but you've got to imagine if you allowed it, it would be difficult to officiate throughout. I'm sure drivers would claim that they had a disconnection every time they've got a decent lead on the car. Let's watch then the final trips through. Down we go through the tunnel. It is Twist about to cross the line though. Twist, he took pole and he's won Monaco, but it wasn't quite that simple. It's his teammate he beats out tonight, but Twist wins a action-packed and frantic trip around Monaco. 2nd place will be the car of Robbie, but in truth it will be Kilcree who scores that 2nd place, and everybody else will move up in the order. Samba crosses the line, but where will he actually finish? Matteo will get net 3rd place, a podium for the Ferrari driver, and LRB in 5th. Samba has dropped behind him into 6th place. Jeroen across the line in 7th. A strong finish for him. We finish up then the rest of the standings. That is Simon, who has stayed ahead of Edrex on the road and with penalty count back. Simon will get P8. Great drive from Simon as well. Edrex 9th on the road, but will be beaten by Keke there to just take home the 1 racing point. We've got the fastest lap for Robbie hopefully he'll at least pick that one up. I don't know, with 2 cars remaining in the field. And yet, rule 4.2. Rule 4.1. Sorry, 4.2 applies. So a driver who disconnects after covering 90% of the race distance will be classified where their AI finished, but he didn't reach 90%, unfortunately for him. That is absolutely heartbreaking. Yeah, so we will take the provisional standings here with a pinch of salt. I'll try and talk you through it. Apologies if I slip up, but the podium still belongs to Aston Martin on the top step. That is good stuff. Yuki saying surprised that Samba got that 6th place. Yeah, absolutely. There he goes, pulling back the boat, but he secured the win tonight. Did twist with a great pole position, and was there when it mattered, but did gain from his teammate. Champagne time for the Aston Martin driver. Who was your driver of the day if you're watching live with us? For me, Matteo drove a very clean race. I don't give it to the top guy in the standings. I don't give it to the winner because they've got enough glory already. There is Twist. Moving forward, I think LRB will be my driver of the day for the amount of places he has gained. He started 12th, he finished 5th. Trust Team Twist driver. He finishes the race on top. Robbie gets the fastest lap, but I don't think that will count because he won't finish in the points. In 2nd place is Kilcree. In 3rd is Matteo. In 4th, is LRB. Definitely my driver of the day then. Samba in 6th. Samba in 5th. Jerome in 6th. Simon in 7th. Keke in 8th. Diogo Silva in 10th. Edrex, Fleddy, Belbelby, Lewis. Finished the race with Lickle, Amway, Smalley Balls, Tedo, Snipes and Medsport, unfortunately, in our DNF group. Just a little highlight from the driver chat. What can we see? LRB saying he saw blue flags all the way through. Matteo congratulating the McLaren, who gave him space when he overtook, which would have been hard to find on the circuit. But a really enjoyable race for the neutrals, for the watchers. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you'll do us a favour and leave a like on the video, a little comment or two would be very much appreciated. Remember to follow at PremierSimGL. Subscribe to this channel with the notification bell, and follow me at WebORed5 if you like to. From everybody at PSF4, I'm sure normal service will be resumed next week with Brendan, next race with Brendan, I should say. But from me, Webbo, and from everybody else here at the F4 division, we will catch you on the next race day.